Hey, what's up, YouTube, and welcome back to Morgellons discussion and microscopy videos. I'm your host, Jeremy Murphy, and today I wanted to talk about heroes because that's what we hear a lot of in the Morgellons community. You hear a certain scientist or maybe an advocate being regarded as a hero, but as we know, heroes often fail. And so when you have people that should be considered held in high esteem, those individuals should be readily challenged, right? I got people that come on this channel all the time and make the time to challenge me because their understanding, their belief is different. Their opinion is different than mine. But instead of calling them an asshole and blocking them and making them feel like crap for ever making the time in the first place, I try to give each individual a unique amount of response for making the time for me. I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm upset because they're challenging my assertions. Not at all. I welcome those challenges because my assertions are backed up by evidence. But the thing is nobody's really gotten into the habit of calling me a hero, and I don't want them to because I'm not a hero. I'm just like anybody else. And so are these heroes. But you ought to be able to challenge them. When there are things that they're saying that you don't understand, you ought to be able to say, hey, what about this? And they ought to be able to give you a reasonable response without attacking you. And so that's where we're at. Because in my experience, sometimes I've raised concerns and they weren't met with reasonable answers. They were met with personal attacks. And that's when I knew, that was one of the reasons why I knew that it was time to do a new Morgellons movement where we could initiate autonomous advocacy. And what that means is instead of holding some people in regard as heroes and waiting for them to change the world, patients could educate themselves about the facts, the basic facts. There's information in my course, and thank you everybody for taking that course. We're getting ready to hit a milestone pretty soon here. There's extended information, so you can keep learning. I mean, yeah, you can breeze through it and get your cert and get your certificate. But if you really take your time, like most people are doing when they're going through that course, the introduction to Morgellons, they're finding that there's a lot of valuable information to really help reinforce the facts about Morgellons. And that's going to allow them to go forward and speak knowledgeably about it and share that wisdom with other people. That's one thing that I really appreciate about everybody taking this course is that they're making the time to share it out with their friends and family. And those people are coming back. And pretty soon people are going to have a good grasp on what Morgellons is. And that's a basic concept we've got to understand. You don't have to hold people in high regard as heroes to get your own information, but you got to make the time to educate yourself. So, what I'm saying is keep everything in perspective, okay? Your heroes are your parents for putting up with your crap and going to work and making sure that you had food in your mouth. Or whoever was taking care of you at the time and showed you that love. And if nobody showed you love, then the person who's going to show it to you in the future, that's a hero. Okay? But these scientists, I mean, yeah, they're cool people, especially when they make time to talk with you. But they're just like any other person. If they make assertions, they should be challenged, and they should be readily open to respond to those challenges. So keep that in perspective when you're going forward, because we've got a long way to go. We're at the prefaces of Morgellons being accepted generally, but we've got a lot of obstacles along the way, including how we do things and how we take care of ourselves. I mean, if you can't do the basic stuff like make sure you're not going into a diabetic shock or get enough exercise so that you're not frustrated through the whole day, then that's going to hurt our cause overall. First and foremost, you got to take care of you. Don't worry about the heroes. You know, they got their own stuff going on. We got to take care of us first. And then once we're well, once we're looking good, once we're showing people that we're sharp on the facts, then people will be more open to that science. The primary reason people are closed to it is because when people get involved in Morgellons, there's a whole sphere surrounding that issue that is basically unrelated. And so people get sucked up and exploited into somebody else's agenda. And that's got to stop. Morgellons patients have to represent themselves as individuals with their own agendas, their own wants, their own needs, and their own desires, independent of what anybody else wants. And I can tell you right now, we don't want the CDC to do another study just to get to the point where we're healthy again. You don't have to. CDC has nothing to do with whether or not you see a Lyme disease specialist. Lyme disease specialists are not necessarily expensive. If you've been like me and you've been without health insurance for the past 20 years and you finally got it again, man, it's affordable. It's definitely affordable. And I'm glad things are starting to work out better than they have been. Things are getting better, and they're going to get better for you too. But remember, don't put your faith in the heroes. Put your faith in your mind and put it to work. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. I appreciate our new members. LL, here's your shout out. Thank you for being a new member. I haven't checked to see if we have any new members yet, but I'm on my way over there. Just got done with the class, and we did have some more signups and another completion. You guys ought to check it out. It's morgellons.teachable.com. Have a happy Halloween.